Hello and welcome back to another episode of Healing Through the Lens with your favorite trauma coach, Ashley. Whoop, whoop. Today we're going to cover the Kardashians again. I want to inform you we did do a video on 90 Day Fiancé covering Gino and Jasmine's relationship, but YouTube said copyright issues. Technically, it falls under the Fair Use Act, but some bot has flagged us and we have had to dispute it. Please send positive vibes that the dispute goes through quickly and you get access to that video ASAP because there is some wisdom in that. Oh, that is such a great episode. But today we're back with the Kardashians, which hopefully will get posted. Today we are going to cover everything from perception, projection, looking at the external, aka the effects instead of what we actually have control of, and ultimately we're going to look at the ability to take back our joy in any moment and realize the power we have within. Remember to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date on the latest episodes we are dropping, and please share in the comments any of your favorite stars or TV shows that you would like to be covered here on Through the Lens. Let's go ahead and get started.
Khloe said she's coming, and we know Khloe does very well in Milan.
It was like, I think I need to come to Milan. She was like, no, I need to get like my vibe back, and that was my vibe when I went there. And I was like, okay.
It was on fire. The men were after her.
Yeah.
And I think we just scratched the surface. Like, there's a lot more work that can be done.
Hi.
Okay, we're going back to Milan, and Milan is our thing. That's our thing. I think we're just going to a dinner and the show and coming back. We're there for 2 days.
Is Dolce gonna dress me? Because you know I'm like...
Of course, Nora said we're gonna work on looks for Khloe. Khloe has this certain energy about her when she goes to Milan. She's way more carefree, way more light, and the drama's not around. I think my one thing that I really wish for Khloe is that she would experience life outside of Calabasas.
Are you gonna invite Courtney to Milan?
All right, let's stop there. As you can see, today we're going to cover Khloe, and Khloe has been through a lot in the last few years, and we'll cover some more about that later. But right now I want to cover Kim's observation of Khloe and how when she's in Milan, she's just carefree and the drama isn't there, and she just has this ability to be a different person, essentially. Kim is really wanting Khloe to go with to Milan so that she can have that opportunity to be free. Vacations are always great. But the reality is, wherever you go, you will be there. Bottom line. So many people attempt to run from everything by changing their location. But the problem is, when you have issues in your life or things that you are unhappy about or that are uncomfortable or you don't want to be experiencing, the one thing in common with that is you. Yep, you heard me right. You. And that sucks to hear. I get it. But the fact is, it's true. And the reality is, the only thing you have control over is your internal state of being, your perception of the external. Therefore, by Khloe changing location, eventually she's going to realize that she's still there. Changing location, in my mind and in my experience, is an opportunity to see what's possible. Because the reality is, yes, usually on a vacation at the beginning, you have this like freedom to be something that you aren't at home because you don't have everything staring you in the face. But your mind eventually catches up and begins to bring all of those things back in, and they begin to be projected in the location you're at now. That is the reality. When you find yourself seeing a place where you are different, that is an opportunity to get curious. To get curious of what are the things you're holding on to and why are they getting in your way of living the same type of life at home or you know, whatever place it may be. Because it all comes back to your perception. What are you perceiving about the reality you are living in outside of you? And why, when you travel somewhere, do you release all of that? But look at, what is it that you're releasing? What is it that you're not thinking about as much anymore? What are you not faced with every day? And start to look at your day-to-day and shift your perspective on those things, or shift what you are doing. If you are unhappy with your job, figure out a different job. If you are unhappy in your relationship, then get curious within. Why? What is it that is projecting out, and how can you heal what is within? And then figure out, is it the relationship or is it me? Does it align with my highest self? When we are attempting to be our highest self, we get opportunities like this of going to other places that shows us the true possibilities. I think Burning Man is a really huge representation of this, and people go there to escape and to be themselves and not be judged. But the reality is, Burning Man is an opportunity to see what you can integrate into your day-to-day. But the reason why it's so misused is because people just go there and spend a week or 2 weeks out of the year being who they want to be and enjoying life, and then they go back to what they don't want to be. The reality is that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. And the same for her getting out of Calabasas. It's not helpful if she's not using it as an opportunity to get curious, to shift her perspective, to release whatever weight she's carrying, and to remember her truth. All right, we're going to keep on this train with Khloe, and Khloe projecting out her perceptions of time and location, changing her inner state of being, because it really doesn't. I promise you that.
Hi, I'm Ashley, your favorite trauma coach, and you are watching Through the Lens of a Trauma Coach. With over 15 years of experience, you get to see me unpack some of your favorite people in the media today and understand what is going on. If you're interested, make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, remember you are worth it.
Scott, I'm telling you, you're going to feel so much better if you do this on a regular. You're so young, you can't live like this.
I'm almost 40.
What does that mean? I can't wait to be in my 40s.
Okay.
30s have been a disaster. I mean, what happened between Tristan and I was a very traumatic experience. Then there was surrogacy, cancer scares. But I just think that there's no way this can continue into my 40s, because I might snap one day. I'm just excited, so let a girl be excited. And please don't make me think too hard about it, because I don't know what I'm expecting, and I just want it to be great.
Okay, there we see Khloe waiting for happiness to a specific age. I think Khloe's 38, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So, in fact, she has 2 more years before she hits her 40s. And I am not discounting what Khloe has been through. She has been through a lot. And she even shares that they have been traumatic events for her. I get it. We all go through traumatic events in our life. And the reality is, until we shift our perspective on the current events that are traumatic in our life, then our perception is going to be the similar scenario as we move forward. There may be different things going on outside of us, but if we can't figure out how to shift our perception now, things are not going to change. Because the problem is that when we see life from the state of a victim, which is the place of life is happening to me, which Khloe is sharing, right? Like the 30s were awful, but hopefully the 40s are better. Therefore, life happened to me in the 30s. Instead of seeing the opportunities that actually lied within that and realizing how beautiful her actual 30s were, the amount of growth and self-reflection that could occur from all of these traumatic events is massive. They were presented to her as opportunities to release weight that she's carrying that is projecting outside of her. But instead, we're just waiting for a different year, which in reality, time is a construct. Time doesn't even exist. If time doesn't exist, the same Khloe that is here today with this perception is going to enter into her 40s, because she's not focusing on being here and now in the joy, finding her joy again amongst the chaos, amongst the trauma. Again, I'm not saying that Khloe can't grieve and Khloe can't be sad and Khloe can't see these experiences as hard, But the reality is, if you want life to get better, it's not about waiting for the external to change. It's about changing your perception within, coming from a place of love instead of the place of fear and sadness and hurt that is the ego belief system. Let me tell you, I did this. In my teens, I thought my life was the worst it could ever get. Then I looked forward to my 20s. Were my 20s a little better? Yeah, but we were broke as fuck. Then I waited for my 30s. And when I entered into my 30s, I was the happiest, healthiest, mentally, physically, and emotionally I thought I could ever be. I remember thinking, this is the decade, friends. My 30s. We have money. I'm doing great, blah, blah. And guess what? At 32, I went through one of the most awful traumatic events of my life. I went through a divorce. I lost everything outside of me. I moved my way through that. And at one point, I remember thinking, well, what about my 40s? I'm going to be older. I'm going to look different, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized it doesn't matter. If I can't figure out happiness and joy in today and shift my perspective, my 40s aren't going to be any different. My 50s aren't going to be any different. My 60s aren't going to be any different. Because if you are riding that duality roller coaster, meaning you are allowing your perception and your internal experience to be determined by the external things going on in your life, that is what we are living. We live in duality. It will be a constant. You will have constant ups and downs. You will have constant opportunities to play the victim instead of taking back that control. Another thing Khloe is doing here is she's putting an immense amount of weight on her 40s. And because she's putting that immense amount of weight, she's going to be disappointed. Whenever we place so much weight on something, we are really seeking eternal love, the eternal love that we feel that we have lost. Therefore, it will never be able to provide that. She will always be like, why? Why aren't my 40s as great as I thought they were? And even if she does come out and say they are amazing, it's not experienced in the same manner, because there was weight placed on it. And the reality is, when you place so much weight, it's like the statement, when I assume I'm making an ass out of you and me. And right now, she's assuming that her 40s are going to be absolutely amazing. She's making an ass out of Khloe in the 40s and an ass out of Khloe where she's at today. Because again, the reality is your external, when it is in charge of your internal, that is when life is a mess, my friend. That is when you feel like you are out of control and why are all these awful things happening to me? And then we seek answers. Later it's talked about in the show that, God only gives people that are beautiful the most difficult things to handle. That's for a different episode to discuss further about that. But the reality is, you're just looking for an external explanation for an internal problem. And when you shift your internal perspective to that of cause instead of effect being everything outside of you, cause being your internal dialogue, the mind's internal dialogue, that is when you take back your joy. Because your joy is not dependent on any vacation to Milan or any age number that you're going to reach one day. And you realize that if you can have it in every single moment, despite what is going on outside of you. All right, that's the Kardashians. Today was a shorter episode, but I am so hopeful that you are able to see the power that you hold within. Today we covered everything from perspective shift to projection to taking back our dang joy in every single moment, no matter what is going on outside of us. And also we were able to see windows of opportunity when we are traveling or going places where we feel amazing. That is an opportunity to get curious so that you can figure out how to integrate that in every single second of your day, because it's showing you what's holding you back. Remember, like and subscribe. We will continue with the Kardashians. Please share if you have any other shows you would like us to cover. And remember the 90 Day Fiancé one, please send positive vibes that we will be able to release that, because it is packed with nuggets. And again, like, subscribe, and as always, remember you are worth it, friend. So much love. Bye.